You're listening to 772 Sports, a local Treasure Coast sports podcast highlighting everything from Little League to the NFL. Here are your hosts, Curtis Carpenter and Mike Higgins. All right, welcome to another episode, number 10 of the 772 Sports podcast. I am Curtis Carpenter. I'm on the phone here with Mike Higgins. How are you today, Mike?
Good, man. How's it going?
It's going all right. What do we have for the listeners today?
Well, I think you got a little bit of basketball talk, right? You're a pretty basketball for high school here.
Yeah, a little bit. Not a lot, but we got some high school basketball talk.
Good. And then so we got some local stuff. We have, and of course, all the major sports like we normally do. We had some pretty big signings in baseball that I'm excited to go over. And we're getting into crunch time in the NFL, so excited.
All right. Can't wait. You want to get started with some local high school stuff?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Here we go. Treasure Coast Chatter. All right, this is Treasure Coast Chatter. This is where we talk about our local Vero Beach High School sports, athletics. We also talk a little John Carroll and some of the other local sports, but of course we're both Vero homers. So right now it's basketball season, and Vero's not doing too well, Mike.
I saw their record. I did 2-5. You can confirm that?
2-5, not great, but it's early. They got time to turn it around. They did play John Carroll on Saturday. They lost 54-50, and they do play tomorrow night against a school I've never heard of, Tocoi Creek. You ever heard of Tocoi Creek?
Is that never heard of them? Is that here or away?
It's here. That is a good question. I'm pretty sure it's in Vero. I think it's here. But yeah.
Have you been able to make any games yet?
I have not. I have season tickets. I haven't been to a game yet. And I'm not going to be able to make tomorrow. But I will get to at least a game before the year ends if they play another home game after tomorrow and before the new year. I'm going to get to a game, Mike. We're going to get there. We're going to do it. But
Let me know. I'll come up.
All right. We'll have to do a podcast from the game. Like while they're playing, we'll have to do it.
That would be cool.
Well, anyway, so Vero is not doing too hot again. They've got 2 wins and 5 losses. And, unfortunately, it's funny, Mike, you and I were just talking off air. It is so difficult for you and I to get local sports information to be able to broadcast to the public. We've got to figure out how to get this info because all I know is that Vero's 2-5. They lost Saturday. They play tomorrow. I don't know anything about any of the other winter sports. Like none.
Yeah, I need to. I don't know him so well, but maybe reach out to Coach Jankowski. I know he's the athletic director too. So I know you have a direct line with Mickey Grudy, so we can always get any information we need for JC right at hand.
Yeah.
We need that content. We need that contact for Vero as well because we're both Vero guys. We went to Vero. We live in Vero.
I want to know what's going on in Vero sports. So
that's it. That's most important to me too.
So so that's really it for high school. One thing we do want to touch on, we were trying to get Jackie Stolting on the podcast today. Just some scheduling conflicts weren't able to work it out. I think we're going to try next week. Again, no guarantees, but she did play in the Grapefruit Pro-Am last week, as we alluded to last episode, and she played okay. Not great. She played okay, but the glass ceiling is now broken. She is the first female to ever play in the oldest Pro-Am in the state of Florida. And I know she had a good time. Like we've talked about this before. Her brother actually works with me. So we chatted about it. She had a really good time. It was really, really cool to see and hear about her experience, being able to play in this Grapefruit Pro-Am. So we're going to try and bring her on next week. Maybe she can talk a little bit about that. Maybe what the future holds for LPGA, for her LPGA status. I know she still has her card, but she just had a baby. And we'll have to find out from her what her plans are. But
that's gonna be cool, man. I really want to see. I was interested to talk to her about that very thing, about her future plans. It must be so much more tough. I don't know if more tough is the right word, but I guess just being a new mom and trying to get out there as opposed to being a dad and trying to get right back out there. You know what I mean? Like it seems like with the guys we follow in like MLB and stuff, they can go to the baby's birth and then they're out of there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back playing a game the next day. It's got to be so much more tough as a mom. So that's really cool that she was able to play in that Pro-Am. And I hope that she has a spot moving forward. It seems like that's how it works there. If you have a spot, you continue to have a spot.
That's right.
So hopefully she's there.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, we'll try and have Jackie on. We're gonna have a lot of really good questions for her when we get her on. So
Yes,
yeah.
we are.
So that's really it for Treasure Coast Chatter. We don't have a lot to report on. Again, we're gonna try and come back next week with some more information, hopefully with some more sports, because basketball's not the only thing going on right now. There's tons of other stuff going on. There's just not any buzz about it, and we're the ones that are gonna figure that out. So
we're gonna generate that buzz, and we have baseball coming soon. First of the year. So
Oh yeah.
Big stuff coming.
Heck yeah. All right, cool. Well, next up, we're going to talk a little college football. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready to do it.
All right, let's do it.
772 Sports is brought to you by Vero Beach Social Media, your local digital marketing agency. From Facebook advertising to graphic design to podcast production, Vero Beach Social Media has you covered. Contact them today at 772-999-6636 or visit VeroBeachSocialMedia.com.
College football Gridiron Gab. All right, folks, this is Gridiron Gab. It's where we talk about the NCAA football world. This is Mike's favorite. Even though we're at the end, there's no more regular season. We're heading into bowl games. There is still plenty to talk about. Mike, my big question for you, what the hell is going on in the transfer portal?
So, man, I am working on getting all of these stats, but there is literally like hundreds of players in the transfer portal. I'm so interested to see how this affects high school kids, right? Because you have so many good or, supposed to be good college kids that are transferring out. How is this going to affect the kids that wait to commit? You know what I mean? Like they wait to take that spot in a recruiting class.
Yeah,
it's going to be so interesting, and it's sort of like the wild, wild west right now, and it's a mess, and NIL and transfers, and it's like you just kind of have to sit back and you're wondering what the heck is going on.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the COVID year when all these college players got an extra year of eligibility. You had kids that were coming out of high school that were planning on going to a college because there was going to be a spot for them, and then all of a sudden that spot's not there because the senior's taking it up. This is kind of a similar situation where a kid might be coming out of high school ready to go to, a Miami or a Florida State, and it's like, no, hold on. You're not coming here because we're bringing a kid here from somewhere else. And yeah, man, it's wild. So again, I don't know how many chronic listeners we have. Last week we talked a little bit about this. It used to be if you transferred schools, you had to sit out a year. That is no longer the case. You can transfer schools. It's free agency by definition. You can just move around as much as you want. You're not getting playing time, I'm going to move. Our team's not good, I'm going to move. I don't like the coach, I'm going to move. It's wild, Mike. So, yeah. Go ahead.
It's wild. I've never seen anything like it. They're eventually going to have to do some kind of regulating where, you maybe get one free transfer and then it's the regular sit out a year stuff, because there's kids that have transferred 3 or 4 times. It's amazing. It's like I don't feel like. I guess I feel like these kids should be. So if you commit to a certain coach and that coach leaves, do you feel like you should be able to just bounce if the coach?
That's one of those things where I'm kind of like up in the air about. Like, for instance, we talked about Deion Sanders last week. He recruits all these kids to Jackson State. They all come thinking, hey, I'm going to be here for 4 years playing with Prime. Deion's there, I don't know, maybe a year. Maybe you're there your freshman year, he's there, and then he bounces. And he's bringing his best with him. Maybe you're not that guy. And, now you're stuck at Jackson State, which, let's hope that you picked that school for other reasons other than just Deion Sanders was there. But the reality is, you got sold, goods that aren't good. Deion's gone and now you're there. It's like, what are you supposed to do? So, with the transfer portal, that gives you the ability to pack your bags and go somewhere else. But it's just wild, man. I actually feel really bad for these kids, especially like the 3 and 4 star guys. I just feel really bad for them because their spots are getting eaten up. They're getting misled. They're going to programs that aren't really the programs that they thought they were. It is an absolute mess. Who would have ever thought in a million years that the NFL would have more tenure than NCAA? like there are guys in the NFL that have played for one team their entire career. Even if you've played there for 2 or 3 years, you've got more tenure than a lot of these players in college. It's insane, man. It's wild.
Yeah, it's a mess, and now they're getting paid, and it's just I don't want to say necessarily that I don't like it. It's just so much different than college football that we're used to. And they're going to have to regulate, I think, the spending for NIL too. I mean, something's got to give. Like it's all going to come to a head at some point. Because right now it's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's just, again, so not only did they open up the transfer portal, well, you can just go wherever you want, whenever you want, but with with all this money involved, now it's like, oh, okay, now you've got the how much am I getting paid aspect to it, which it does not make it better, trust me.
It does not make it better.
Yeah.
It's, I don't mind the kids getting paid, but there has to be some kind of structure to it. Like, I think the kids should get paid. Some of these programs like Texas and, Florida State, they're making, millions and millions a year. So these kids should get something, I think. But I think there should be some kind of regulation to it.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. I hope that there's something soon because we may be seeing one of the greatest sports, college football, denigrate. I don't know what the right word is. Dissolve into something that it really shouldn't be because it really was really good. It could have been better. It was really good, and I feel like with all these things they made it worse.
Yeah, you can always improve on stuff, but it's getting to the point and it was always like this, but it's getting to the point where it's almost like minor league NFL.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, but even these minor leaguers are making more money than like minor league baseball and D-League basketball.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another day. I agree with that. So that's all I got on that stuff. I mean, it's a mess. I'm interested to see how it affects the high school kids. But yeah.
Well, all right. So what else do we have here? Oh, poor Mike Leach. Man, let's talk about the Pirate. So
that happened. That happened so quick.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Mike Leach, the head football coach at Mississippi State, had a heart attack. I mean, ultimately, just had a cardiac arrest on what was it? Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yep. And then I guess they airlifted him, got him to a hospital, and just couldn't save him, and he passed away Monday. And listen, it's a tragedy when any college football coach passes away, especially suddenly like that. And he's 61, so he's young. But if you don't know who Mike Leach is, do yourself a favor right now. Pause this podcast. Just stop listening. Go to Google and just type in Mike Leach videos, and you will be entertained for days on the stuff that he had. I mean, anytime he gave a speech, it was just a stream of consciousness, and it was hilarious. He was brilliant. He had a law degree. He had a separate master's degree. He was very philosophical and just wild. I mean, the stuff that he would come up with was just hilarious.
Look up this guy's stance on Halloween candy, man. I'll never get over it. It is the funniest thing you'll ever watch.
You a candy corn fan, Mike?
Dude, it is. It's during the middle of a game. They're asking him about Halloween candy, and he goes in this 10-minute rant about Halloween candy. I mean, it's not 10 minutes, but it's longer than just 5 seconds. It's so funny. It's so funny. But yes, we do eat candy corn in this house.
Yeah, I'm not a big candy corn fan. I'm on the Leach train when it comes to candy corn. I'm not a big fan of it, but
I don't know that I necessarily love it, but if it's sitting there in a bowl, I mean, but maybe that's a little bit why I'm a big guy, because if something's sitting in a bowl, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh, it's great. But yeah, poor Mike Leach. Just wanted to kind of, I don't want to say honor him, but just discuss Leach and just say how it's sad it is.
Yeah, man,
it's
Yeah, rest in peace, big man. He was so funny. He was a lot about what we love about college football. So yeah, he will be missed on the sidelines. And just once you look him up, you'll see all of the testimonials and stuff that people did about him and knowing him and how good of a person he was. So yeah, that's sad. Definitely a sad situation.
So I wanted to give a shout out, I guess, to old Leach, and then also I sent you a video this morning.
You did?
John Morgan, everybody knows it. Morgan and Morgan, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I think he may have been dabbling on the devil's lettuce before he got on this video, or he was drinking or something. But he got on there and ranted about Jimbo Fisher, and I was like, man, if I had $1 million, I'd get John Morgan as a guest on this podcast to talk more about it, because all he did was repeat exactly what we said.
Yeah, like almost word for word.
It was hilarious. So you can go to Facebook. You can probably look up John Morgan and Jimbo Fisher, and he goes on about a 2-minute rant about how Jimbo Fisher sucks and how He was talking trash about a real coach, Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And how he screwed Florida State over, and then he went to Texas A&M, and Texas A&M sucks because they lost to Florida, and they suck. And he was just going on a rant.
It was awesome, and it's supposed to be a minute with Morgan, and he ends up going like 2 minutes on Jimbo Fisher. Man, it's so funny.
Yeah, there's 0% chance that was 1 minute long.
I completely support what he says about Jimbo getting, like, he's pretty much lived off of what Bobby Bowden did, and what Jimbo took over at Florida State, which was already a juggernaut. I mean, how many millions has Jimbo made off of working for Bobby and then getting that job? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, and he's going to make all his money on buyouts. So he got bought out from Florida State for like $30 million, and now he's got a $100 million buyout from Texas A&M, and it's possible they're going to pay it. It's like, holy cow! Like, this guy just, like, he's making his money on getting fired. This is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me that he has a job still. Like, I thought Texas A&M would have already paid and got him out of there, because with the way they recruit and the money they spent on NIL, man, they had to think that the product was going to be better, right? I mean, they had to.
Yeah, but I think it's hard to. It's still hard to cough up $100 million. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of. I don't care. $100 million is a lot. Golly.
We'll have to. We'll just have to get to, like, I'll have to figure out when the buyout drops and all that stuff, because as soon as it gets under 100 million to 70 or 50 or whatever, they're going to pay that, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just had to bring that up. I thought that was the funniest thing I'd seen in a long time. That's the funniest thing I've seen since the last Mike Leach speech.
We've literally been talking about that since, like, the first pod.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Like, is it hot seat season for him? And it is, and I can't believe he still has a job. But
so yeah, look that up if you get a chance. And then you want to talk a little Heisman? Yeah,
man. So you saw Caleb Williams won that, which I think completely deserving. That kid is a heck of a ball player. Yeah, I mean, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, that sounds like a leader to me. They need to just change this thing to be a quarterback award, because it seems like nothing else has a chance. Nobody else has a chance.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on that? I mean,
who's the last running back or wide receiver, I guess? But
it's been a hot minute. So what are your thoughts on Caleb Williams? And I'm going to look up that while you're.
I'm fine with it. Again, I don't watch a ton of the games out west just because they're on so late. I did watch USC a little bit. My question, I guess, and I like you said, I mean, the stats hold up. Looking at it on paper, yeah, he should have won. What's interesting to me is this kid from North Carolina, he didn't even get, like, consideration. And look at his numbers on paper. Like,
yeah, I mean,
he wasn't even like a top 5 guy, and I'm like, damn, he had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, he wouldn't have beat Williams. I don't think that he was better than him. I just thought that maybe, they should have talked a little bit more about that. But what I was going to get at, my question is Lincoln Riley the quarterback whisperer? Like, every single quarterback that plays under Lincoln Riley wins a Heisman.
Right, so it's been 3, right?
So, yeah, it was Caleb
Baker
Williams
Mayfield.
This year. Yep, Baker Mayfield. He had Kyler Murray under him.
Kyler Murray, yep.
I mean, it just seems like you go play for this guy, you are going to, number one, you're probably going to win the Heisman, and number two, you're probably going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Baker's had some shakeups, but as you saw last week, and we'll go over this a little bit, looks like he might be okay. And then Kyler Murray's, he's getting paid. He's the starting quarterback in Arizona.
And Caleb Williams is going to get paid. I don't know. I think that he's a true sophomore, so he may have one more year of college left. I don't know for sure about that. I know he's a sophomore. I just don't know if he's a redshirt, and I haven't heard anything about him declaring, so he must be a true sophomore. But yeah, he's going to get paid, and he may have one more year, and he's going to take out a nice insurance policy on him. Himself, yeah. I'm sure.
Lloyd's of London, be ready. You're getting your premium soon.
So since 2010, I have the list of Heisman winners. It's Cam Newton, so
quarterback.
Yep. RG3.
Quarterback.
Yep. Johnny Manziel.
Quarterback.
Famous Jameis.
Quarterback.
Marcus Mariota.
Quarterback.
And here's one that's not Derrick Henry. Completely deserving.
What was that, 2015?
He was a stud. 2015.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, quarterback. Baker Mayfield, quarterback. 2018, Kyler Murray, quarterback. Joe Burrow in 2019, quarterback. The last one that wasn't a quarterback, 2020, Devontae Smith.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Devontae Smith won the Heisman at Alabama. Yep.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that Derrick Henry was the last because I forgot about Smith.
Yep.
So, and then Bryce Young and Caleb Williams. So.
All right. So, of the last 13 Heisman Trophy winners, 2 were non-quarterbacks. We had 1 running back and 1 wide receiver and 11 quarterbacks. I mean, you could say about the same thing about well, I was going to say you could say the same thing about MVP in the NFL, but I guess it's not necessarily true. Every now and then you'll get a running back, but a wide receiver's never won MVP in the NFL.
It's sort of the same thing. I mean, it really is sort of the same thing as this Heisman. So, and it looks like Alabama and Oklahoma dominate the Heisman winners here. They get a bunch of them.
Yep. So there's your Heisman talk. Caleb
Heisman
Williams
talk.
Deserved it. We'll take it.
He did deserve it, man. He's good. It's just it's almost like it's not even serious for these other guys to have a shot, but it's truly deserving for Caleb Williams. He's a good player, man. He's definitely going to be a first round draft pick pretty early. So
yeah.
Excited to see what happens. I like USC as a West Coast team. I've always kind of followed them, even before Reggie Bush. But he kind of got me into USC, so they're kind of a good West Coast team to follow.
Yeah, no, it's funny. The thought is always, well, who do you like, USC or UCLA? I mean, it's like Florida or Florida State. When you're on the East Coast, I don't have a marriage to either one of these teams, USC or UCLA. I've always pulled for USC. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yep. Even before Reggie Bush, I have no clue why. Maybe the Trojan guy coming out on the horse thing is kind of fun. I don't really quite understand what a Bruin is. I guess it's a bear. I don't know. But I like USC, and so I'm all right with that. All right, that's Heisman talk. You want to do some bowl picks?
Yeah, man, we got a bunch of them, so we'll just do week by week. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
13 games we have.
Okay, we have 13 games before next week's podcast, so that's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, we can knock these out, and then we're set up on ESPN now, right?
We're set up.
Okay.
I'm probably going to invite a few more people, so we have a couple more people in this to see who can win. But
yeah, if you want to get in on this, hey, yeah, all right. Here's a good segue. If you want to get in on this, comment on the YouTube channel or write us at Twitter, or some of you guys have our numbers. Just text us if you want to get in. And then we could talk about how we beat you this week because you stink.
And Curtis and I have a lunch bet on this. But if any of the listeners come in and they want to do this, I'll buy you guys a lunch gift card for somewhere. If you beat us,
you'll come to lunch with us. And but
there you go.
But you're not going to win. So you can try, but we're going to beat you. So
that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. All right. We have a couple games tomorrow, Mike.
We do.
Yeah, all right.
We do a couple Friday games.
Yeah, what's the first?
11:30 a.m. I don't know how often, how many viewers that's going to get, but a little 11:30 a.m. Friday game.
Wait a minute, there's an 11 a.m. game tomorrow. 11:30.
11:30 a.m. game on 12/16 tomorrow. The Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl.
That is amazing, by the way. That there's a game at that early. Yeah, that's wild. 11:30 a.m.
Friday.
Right.
I mean But anyway, so it's Miami of Ohio versus University of Alabama Birmingham Blazers.
All right.
So I have the Blazers.
Yeah, so do I. Sorry, Ben Roethlisberger, but the Blazers are going to win that.
Yeah, so they're minus 11. I could see them covering that. So yeah.
Well, they're both 6 and 6.
We'll go there.
So, this is kind of the, hey, congratulations, you're bowl eligible. We're going to give you the Bahamas Bowl. We're going to fly you down to the Caribbean and let you play in the Bahamas as a reward.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what that bowl's called. I'd like to play in that one.
I know, man. I'm like,
Bahamas.
We only have to get 6 wins, and you're going to fly us to the Caribbean to play a bowl game? Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
All right, so we're both on UAB. The Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. University of Texas. All right. University of Texas San Antonio versus Troy.
All right, I have Troy.
I have University of Texas San Antonio.
Woo! All right, we got one different.
So these are these are both ranked teams?
Yeah.
Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I think They're like
All
number
right.
24 and number 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're both
Okay.
11-2. So,
They're both 11-2, and this game is actually 50-50 on who's, as far as the fans' picks. So this is truly down the middle.
All right. Well, go Troy.
Go Roadrunners.
All right. What do we got Saturday, Mike?
All right, Saturday, December 17th, our first 11 a.m. That's early. Good
Love
grief,
it.
they play early.
Let's go. All day
the
football.
The Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Wasabi is a food. It's not a brand. Is that now a brand?
It's a Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I don't know, man.
All right.
I'm just reading it. And
All
it's
right.
the Cincinnati Bearcats at the Louisville Cardinals. And let me get a quick spread for you. I know we've already made our picks, but just to let everybody know, Louisville's favored by 2.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the underdog. I have Cincinnati. They're 9-3 this year. I think they're just a better team. Louisville was hit or miss this year.
They were a little better than I think we thought they were going to be, though.
But still 7-5. Yeah, man. So
they
I'm taking
screwed
Cincy.
me on some picks.
Yeah.
I'm taking Cincy as well. I'm there with you. A lot of America is taking Cincy as well. They have 85% of the picks right now. So not many people are believing in Louisville.
All right. What's the next one? We
all
have
right.
one at noon, right? Saturday?
We have one at So this is going to be tough because there's NFL on too. You're going to have all 4 TVs cranked up.
So it's going to be even tougher because I'm playing in a golf tournament Saturday morning. So
What tournament's Saturday?
It's the girls lacrosse fundraiser. There may be teams, foursomes. Should have brought this up in Treasure Coast Chatter. The Vero Beach High School girls lacrosse golf fundraiser. It's out of Point West. It is Saturday morning. I believe tee off is 8 o'clock. So yeah, if you hear this before Saturday morning and you want to get in, hit me up. And I'll try to figure out how to get you in. But yeah.
Boom. Okay, next ball game is at 12. So this is a cool game. I will probably watch this one. I love what Dion did with Jackson State, but it's Jackson State versus North Carolina Central, and this is the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Cricket. That must be the phone, like the phone.
Gotta
I'm
be the
always trying to
phones.
figure
Yep.
out who these brands are, because like I told you,
Cricket's.
I'm going to get my company as a sponsor to one of these bowl games one day.
Dude, I'm
There's
going to
no
help
way
that. I'm
that
going to make that happen
Wasabi.
with you.
There's no way that Wasabi is a bigger company than us.
There's no way that a flavor is.
Right. What's next? The Vanilla Bowl? I mean, come on. All right.
So Jackson State's favored by 14. I'm obviously taking Jackson State. Dion had legit 5-star players on this team. I think they're still playing. I think Travis Hunter's still playing in this game before he transfers to Colorado. So yeah, I'm taking Jackson State. You're taking the upset?
No, I am not. I am taking Jackson State. I think they finished the season undefeated, and I mean, you've heard my passion about Deion Sanders. I think it's great what he's doing. I hope he continues to do it. I know he's not technically coaching this game, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is his team. And so
correct.
I'm hoping they go 13-0. Go Jackson State.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm a huge Dion fan. I love what he did there. I love the stepping stone of Colorado. I'm terrified of when he finally gets to FSU. Because he is going to clean up in recruiting. But yeah, so we're both on Jackson State. Next game is 2:30 on Saturday. That is the 6-6 Florida Gators versus the number 14 Oregon State Beavers. They're 9-3 and favored by 10 points.
All right. I've got some complaints, and you're going to hear about them. Is that how that goes?
That's normally my gig, but we'll hear yours.
All right. Florida State finishes with 9 wins. They get a bowl game against the 6-win Oklahoma team, 6 or 7-win Oklahoma team. The Gators get 6 wins, and they get a bowl game against a ranked team that has 9 wins. What the hell's up with that?
Real quick, I'm not cutting you off. I forgot to do it's the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't know what that is, but it's
I
in
don't
Vegas.
know, man. I would have much rather seen Oregon State versus Florida State. But
wait a minute.
Just me.
This game's at 2:30 on Saturday. That's like
2:30. Yeah.
That's either 11:30 or 12. Okay. Maybe it's 11:30 or 12:30 Vegas time.
Which
That's
apparently
early.
is a thing for these bowl games.
That's early. Yeah.
That's early for Vegas because I'm assuming you're not going to be in your room all night.
Well, I mean, it is the city that never sleeps, so
So yeah. So who you picking? I get your gripe.
Yeah. The Gators will finish this season under 500. Oregon State is winning this game. I hope they shellac them. I'm taking Oregon State by 100.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a 10-point spread. I think Oregon State's going to beat them by more than that. I don't know. Has Anthony Richardson announced if he's playing or not? Because I know he's going pro.
He should not play. I don't know if he's going to, but he'd be a fool to play in it.
Yeah, there's maybe, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but there's maybe 10 bowl games I would play in if I was going to be turning pro.
I think if it's a playoff game, I'm playing, and if it's not, I'm not.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's that. I think it's that.
If it's one of these big like Cotton Bowl, like one of these historic bowls, I think you have to, especially you have insurance out on yourself. You definitely need to play. But I agree with you. But anyway, I think we'll just say he's playing as of now, and I still think they're going to get killed. So.
All right, what do we have next?
So here's the funniest bowl, I think. This is 3:30 on Saturday, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifel.
I don't know what any of that means. So Jimmy Kimmel is sponsoring a bowl, but Stifel is sponsoring it, and it's in LA, and it's at 3:30 on Saturday. All right, got it.
And it's the Washington State Cougars, who were 7-5 this year, and the Fresno State Bulldogs, who were 9-4. I have Fresno State favored by 3.5. I took Fresno State.
Yeah, I'm always an FSU fan. Whether it's Florida State, Fresno State, whatever. I'm taking Fresno State to win this.
I like it. Moving along, I really know nothing about either of those two teams, so there's no reason in even
go
acting
FSU.
like I do.
Go FSU.
Go FSU. I should pick the other team just off of that. Okay, the Lending Tree, which I know who they are, obviously, being a real estate agent. The Lending Tree Bowl. It's the 5-7 Rice Owls versus the 6-6 Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
All right, another gripe. How does a 5-7 team get into a bowl? Were there not enough 6-win teams?
Yeah, you have. I guess they needed. There was a couple fill-ins.
Oh boy.
Needed. So
I got a problem with that.
Maybe they asked Miami and they said no. But I'm asking a team like Miami or somebody like that to play in a 5-7 bowl where you're going to get people to tune in to Miami. I don't know how many people you're going to get tuned in to watch Rice.
I mean, I'll tune in to eat it, but I'm not watching. Yeah.
And Southern Miss favored by 6. I'm taking them. 92% of America took them.
Yeah, I'm taking Southern Miss, but again, I'm going to be watching the NFL. So like this game, I feel bad for like these guys. Like they're playing when there's an NFL game on. Like
going up against the NFL, that's not fun.
And if you're a Southern Miss player, first of all, you went 6-6, and you're playing a team that's 5-7 in the Lending Tree Bowl. Like I don't even know where that is.
The Lending Tree Bowl. They're playing at Hannock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama.
Got it.
So, moving along.
All right, what's next?
The New Mexico Bowl.
Don't have to guess where that is.
Nope. University Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's 7:30 a.m. Nobody will be watching this because they'll be watching NFL.
7:30 p.m.
PM, not a.m.
Yep.
Oh,
that would be really,
good
really
catch there. Yeah, don't tune in at 7:30 a.m.
It's on ABC. It's on like regular, Channel 9 at my house. Yeah.
And so this is Southern Methodist University, SMU 7-5 versus BYU 7-5. So Southern Methodist is favored by 3.5. I took SMU because I like their offensive coordinator. That's Miami's old offensive coordinator. That's why I took them.
Well, I like SMU. I like their coach. I like that Vero's quarterback's going to go there. But I'm taking BYU.
That's cool too.
I'm taking BYU.
Ooh,
I know they're
like
underdogs.
it.
Yep. But I don't know.
So we got another difference.
I'm going BYU. So
3.5 in college is like pick 'em pretty much.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, 9:15 p.m., which this will be cool. I'll watch the second half of this while I'm falling asleep. The Frisco Bowl. So it's North Texas Mean Green at 7-6 versus Boise State at 9-4.
Hall of Fame mascot name, by the way. The Mean Green.
Which one?
Mean Green.
Oh yeah,
Mean Green. Hall of Fame mascot. Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Boise State's favored by 10.5. I obviously took the favorite there.
They're going to destroy the Mean Green. The Mean Green are not going to be so mean Saturday night. I got Boise State as well.
Perfect. Me too. Okay, moving on. Myrtle Beach. The Myrtle Beach Bowl. This is the Marshall Thundering Herd at 8-4 versus the Yukon Huskies at 6-6. And our pick'em, I took Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, if this was basketball, I'd go UConn, but I'm never picking UConn in football, ever. I mean, they won 6 games this year. I would have lost those 6 because I would have picked against them every game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
definitely
pick.
taking
And
Marshall.
Marshall's favored by 10, so good pick. See, I'm like Lee Corso there.
Yeah.
Good pick.
I like it.
Okay, moving on. Monday, December 19th at 2:30 p.m. Oh, nope, we already did that one.
Yep, that's the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Yes, it is. We're on Tuesday, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl
Jesus.
at Albertson Stadium.
Oh, Albertsons. I haven't heard of that place in about a
Albertson
decade.
Stadium.
Yeah.
This one is Eastern Michigan Eagles 8-4 versus the San Jose State Spartans at 7-4. And we have San Jose State favored by 3.5.
I'm going Eastern Michigan. I don't know why. I like Eastern Michigan. Like, I don't know why.
I also took Eastern Michigan. I took Eastern Michigan as well. Yeah, I don't have a real reason for that. Just looking at their stats, they have a pretty good quarterback, so I took Eastern Michigan. And then I stopped after I looked at the quarterback. So Tuesday, 12:20, we have the Liberty Flames at 8-4 and the Toledo Rockets at 8-5. This is the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Wait a minute. There's a roofclaim.com like sponsored. This is getting out of hand. Oh, why, hey, Mike, why are my home insurance rates going up so high? Because roofclaim.com is sponsoring the Boca Raton Bowl.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
This is a night game. This is prime time.
Prime time, ESPN, baby.
7:30 p.m.
I'm taking Liberty. Over Toledo.
Let me just – my phone went off 1 second. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I took the Liberty. I did. I took Liberty. They're actually the underdog in this game. So Toledo's favored by 5, but I took Liberty with you.
All right. So we got them
together.
So,
okay.
And then one more before next week. Yep.
So we have Wednesday, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. This has been a bowl for a while. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are 8-5 versus the South Alabama Jaguars, who are 10-2. And if you give me 5 seconds for my computer to load up, I'll give you a spread on that game. I will tell you that I took South Alabama. Let's see. 4.5. South Alabama's favored by 4.5 against Western Kentucky.
Upset special right here.
Woo!
Western Kentucky's going to win this puppy.
Western Kentucky sneaking around the old chicken coop.
That's right.
All right, so that's our picks for this week. That's 13 games. We'll see where we're at. We have 3 or 4 different, so we should know something pretty. By next week, somebody will have a lead.
Again, you guys want to get in on this? Challenges, and if you beat us, we'll buy you lunch. How's that?
Yep. Message us, and we'll get you the login info, and we'll get you on there.
Cool. All right. Well, that is it for Gridiron Gab. You want to talk a little baseball free agency?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Around the Horn. All right, this is Around the Horn. We keep teasing you guys that we're going to get rid of this segment because baseball has ended, yet free agents keep signing, and I feel like we got to talk about it, Mike.
Yeah, man. I love football and I love college football specifically, but I think baseball, is always my first love, right? Like I've loved baseball since I was a kid, playing Little League, and I think it's always going to be my first love. You can't compare with NFL and college, but baseball, man, I love it. I love talking about it. I love playing it. So, that's where I'm at, man. I'm a baseball guy. We could talk about it every single week. I could do just a baseball show, but I don't know if anybody would listen. So what do we got? What do we want to talk about? We're doing free agency talk this week?
Yeah, I think so. Since our last podcast, there really wasn't a lot of movement until just 2 days ago. Carlos Correa signs a 13-year, $350 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. That's a lot of money for a long time. Soon. Yeah.
This dude will be 29 soon. They're paying him into his early 40s. I'm 42, Curtis, and I can barely move in the morning. So I can't imagine how an actual professional athlete, now they're in better shape, but man, I can't imagine committing that much money in that many years to a player. This just has Bobby Bonilla written all over it. What are your thoughts with the deal? I mean, they completely overpaid, right?
It's too long. It's just too long.
Yep.
This is a shortstop. He's not going to be a quality shortstop at 41 years old. Okay. Is that when the contract ends? It'll be 30, 41 or 42? Okay.
Yep, something like that. Yep.
It's just insane. So I was reading an ESPN article about this, and it basically just, backed up our thoughts on this. So I'm just going to read this to you. A quick history of mega deals for older players. Okay, now Carlos Correa is 29. He's not 30 yet, but this is speaking specifically about the 30 players that are 30 or older. Okay, I'm going to read this. It says, so the deals for Judge, Turner, and Bogarts, talking about Aaron Judge, Trey Turner, and Xander Bogaerts, are the 3 biggest ever for players 30 or over. 6 other position players have signed deals of $200 million or more, and it's not hyperbole to suggest that none of them worked out as anticipated. Here's the list, Mike. You ready? Here are the 6 guys that were signed age 30 and over for at least $200 million. You ready? Alex Rodriguez, when he was 32, signed a $275 million deal for 10 years. Okay? One of those years, he was suspended for the entire year. All right? So he had one more 5-WAR season. So he only had one season in those 10 years where he had a +5 WAR, win over replacement player. Not good, right? I mean, now the Yankees won the World Series in 2009. Okay, fine, whatever. But 10 years, $275 million. They gave it to him when he was 32. Really didn't pan out. The next one, Miguel Cabrera. Okay, signs an extension, an 8-year extension. It doesn't say how much it was. It was at least $200 million. But it didn't kick in until 2016. So 2016 to 2023. So he's technically under contract next year, and he's not going to play. Okay.
Nope.
His last good season was 2016, and he hit 262 since 2017. Yep. So all right.
And you're talking about an all-time great player there too.
Yeah, I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer, and so you're thinking, but when he gets older, that's it. So Anthony Rendon, 7-year deal at age 30. He's hit 235 and only played 105 games over the last 2 years. He's been out more games than he's played, right? Yes. It has to be. Yeah. Next one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Albert Pujols. 10-year deal. It started when he was 32. He produced a 12.8 WAR total in 10 seasons with the Angels. That's a 1.28 win over replacement. So what that means is he was 1 win better than an average replacement player every year for 10 years. And they paid him, I don't know, it was 10 years, like $300 million or something was his deal when he signed it. All right. You ready for the next one? There's 2 more. Robbie Cano, 2014 to 2023, he was 31. He was great in his seasons with the Mariners. Yep. Until in 2014, he averaged, from 2014 to 2023, he averaged 4.7 WAR. Like, come on. And then the last one, actually, I don't hate, but still, if you look at his numbers, not phenomenal. Joey Votto, 10-year deal when he started at 30. From 31 to 33, he had 3 top MVP finishes, but then he averages 2.3 WAR for 154 games in 5 seasons. An average of 154 games in the 5 seasons since. So here's what I'm getting at. 6 guys there are good examples. This is not a super small sample size. These are guys that signed for over $200 million after they hit 30 and they sucked. What's going to happen here? I mean, all these guys are signing for big money.
There's so much money in MLB. It's amazing. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that was a ridiculous signing. I mean, that's trying so hard to get somebody like. Do you think so? The Giants have added Mitch Haniger, who I think was a sneaky good pick, and Carlos Correa, but I don't still see them on the levels with the Padres and Dodgers. Do you?
Did they win 80 games last year? I mean, how many games?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe right at it. Maybe a hair over.
Yeah, they won. Here, I'm pulling up now. They won 81 games last year. They won 81 and 81, and they added a very good shortstop. Don't get me wrong, but Brandon Crawford was nothing to shake a stick. I mean, he was good.
Yeah. What are you doing with him? Is he a free agent? I don't think he's a free agent, is he?
I don't know, but what I'm getting at is, like, you upgraded. Don't get me wrong. Carlos Correa is a great shortstop, but, like, you already had a pretty good one. It's like going from I don't know. It's like going from Joey Votto to Paul Goldschmidt. Like, okay, well, you went from really good to very good. All right, fine. Did you really? I don't know. I mean, I just don't see the Giants really. Now, again, 2 years ago, they won the West, so I don't know.
To me, it seems like a situation where they lost on their, they lost on their darling, Aaron Judge, didn't get him. They didn't get DeGrom, so they're overspending to make sure they get at least one guy to kind of stay relevant. That's what it seems to me. It feels like a reach. Not that he's not a great player, but he's a great player at 6 years or 7 years. 13 years is crazy to me. But I guess we'll see. He's in our division, so we'll see a lot of him.
Yeah, we will see.
I will say, but before we switch gears, I will say, because we talked about Albert Pujols, I will have to say that, and he was drafted in 2000, right?
I think so.
It was 2000 or 2001, and I just wanted to shout out a friend of the show, Jason Polmar, was drafted before Albert Pujols that year.
That's crazy.
Just throwing it out there.
That's insane. That was the third time Pomar got drafted.
Yeah,
right?
And it was before Albert Pujols. That's unbelievable to me.
That is crazy. Yeah, that is nuts.
Maybe the greatest hitter of all time. One of the greatest hitters of all time.
Oh, that's funny.
So, so the other big signing that we enjoy was Syndergaard, right?
Yeah, last night. I don't even have the terms yet. I know it's a 1-year deal. Noah Syndergaard signed with the Dodgers.
I think it was not bad. Was it $13 million?
I never saw a number. I'll take him for 1 year, $13 million. It's not bad at all.
All right, you can talk about him for a second. I'm trying to look up the terms.
Well, for those of you that don't know, Noah Syndergaard, Thor, you got long blonde hair, played for the Mets forever. Kind of got bopped around and traded a little bit last year. He's with the Angels and ended up with the Phillies and didn't really pitch much. He's coming off of an injury, and I'm really, really curious to see what Mark Pryor can do with him. Pryor seems to be pretty good with reclamation projects. I'm not sure really what Syndergaard's issue was, but yeah, man, if he can come back and he can throw hard like he did before, I mean, he was throwing in the hundreds, a couple of years ago. If we can get him back to premier status, I mean, you've got Kershaw, Urias, Syndergaard, Dustin May, who throws 102, Gonsolin. You'll have Buehler coming back after the All-Star break. Like, all of a sudden, one potential guy makes this rotation look like, hey, wait a minute, this might be pretty good.
Yeah, man, I'm not out of the question to think that. I don't think it's out of the question to think that we see Trevor Bauer at some point this year. Whether the Dodgers decide they're going to just let him walk or what they do, I think that's going to be something the Dodgers are going to have to talk about, because I think he does probably get that suspension overturned.
If he comes back and he's the same Bauer he was before, the Dodgers have the best rotation in baseball. And I will argue that with any Mets fan out there, or anybody else that wants to say, oh, what about Verlander? What about – you guys forget. I mean, I know he hasn't pitched in 2 years, but Trevor Bauer was a Cy Young candidate for like the last 3 years. And he dominates. And again, if you've got him and Urias and Kershaw and Buehler, and I mean, there's not going to be room for some of these guys. Like Dustin May will be relegated to the bullpen.
Yep, and
Tony Gonsolin.
It is 1 year, $13 million.
Okay.
So
I'll take it.
I feel like that's a deal. That's a good. And the Dodgers made another move, and I don't know if you've seen this, and he's going to miss probably the first half of next season. But the Dodgers signed J.P. Fryereisen, or traded for him from the Rays.
Well, he's hurt, right? Isn't he out until August?
Yep. Yeah, he'll be out until, for a while, till maybe the All-Star break or whatever. But that might be a sneaky good bullpen move, because he's good in the bullpen. So I saw that too, and I'm like, what are they doing? But they didn't give up anything for him. So that may be a move that makes some sense a little bit later in the year when everybody's scrambling for bullpen help.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how that kind of shakes out. The last thing I want to really talk about is really the last of the big free agents is still out there. Dansby Swanson. Is he going to sign somewhere? And obviously he's going to sign somewhere, but who's it going to be with, and what's it going to be for?
So I don't know what it's going to be for. Is he a little older than the other guys?
He's 29.
29. Okay, so he's right around that age. I really think the Dodgers are trying to make a push for him. They've been, when they're super quiet in something, but they're obviously in on it, I like their chances. Yeah, I mean, I see him signing it. It'll be Dodgers, Cubs, maybe the Braves. Maybe the Braves are trying to be quiet, but I think we have a leg up with Freddie.
Well, I think that, the Dodgers historically, with the exception of Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, well, even with Freeman, it's not super long. Betts is a 13-year deal, and they just don't do that traditionally. What they really like.
But I'm good with that. Like, Betts is always out there.
Mookie Betts is the best player right now. I mean, him or Mike Trout are like the best players in our generation. So I get that.
Yep.
But what I'm getting at is they like shorter term, higher annual average value or average annual value.
Yep.
So I think what the Dodgers are going to do, and I don't know if Dansby will sign it, but I think they're going to offer him, somewhere in the 5 or 6 year range with like a $30 million AAV. So it'll be higher than per year. It'll be higher than the Trey Turners and the Xander Bogaerts and those guys, which sounds kind of crazy, but you're only committing for 6 years. So if he's 29 and you commit for 6 years, okay, when he's 35, he's done. And that may be, that may be the end of a shortstop's career. Now, that's risky for the shortstop because he's like, all right, fine, I'm going to go make 180, or I can go guarantee 250 for 10 years.
Right.
But now you're under contract till you're 39. So it's a risk both ways. The Dodgers like to play their angle where, I'm going to give you fewer years and more money. And I think that's probably what they're going to offer him. I don't see them giving him a 10-year deal or a 9-year deal or even an 8-year deal. They don't want a 37-year-old shortstop. Period. They just don't.
Yep.
So We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know if Swanson signs it. Maybe the Braves come in and they say, hey, fine, we'll give you the 10 years. Because the Braves are set up. I mean, I don't know if you've seen all their young guys' contracts, but like every single starter that they have is like 22 or under, and they're signed for like the next 10 years. So they may say to Swanson, hey, here's your 10 years, fine. We've got our core together. We've got our 9 guys that we're going to put on the field for the next decade, and we're good to go. I don't know. I mean, and again, I don't know if Dansby wants to play there. He was
in Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't know.
You said Atlanta, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was there. He won a World Series with him, and I'm sure things are great, but you don't know. Like, come to find out, Freddie Freeman didn't really want to play in LA. He wanted to play in Atlanta. So who knows?
Well, Dansby's a West Coast kid, so I like him, but one more free agent that I want to keep an eye on too, and you and I need to talk about is Carlos Rodon too.
Yeah, I saw that he was still out there too, and that would be a good pickup for the Dodgers.
They're in on him. I don't know if they'll sign him, but he would be a really good late in free agency pickup.
Yeah, 5 years, 120 mil, something like that. I could see them giving him. He's 30, but he's another starting left-handed pitcher, which the Dodgers don't really need, but.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, listen, it's not the end of the world. He's really, really good. He's 30, and if you give him a 4 or 5 year deal and hope he's willing to take it, I think that I think it's a good pickup. But we'll see what happens there.
I agree.
So that's it for free agency. You have anything else for baseball you want to talk about? You want to follow up next week? See where Dansby and Rodon end up?
Yeah, we're not going to call it the end. We're gonna go next week. I think that both of them guys will be signed by next week. So hopefully we'll have something to talk about.
Cool, man. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's do a little NFL. What do you say?
Your baby, huh?
That's
NFL?
it. Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Here we go.
772 Sports is brought to you by the Higgins Home Group. Let the tag team of Mike and Vicky Higgins help you either find your dream home or sell your current home for top dollar. The Higgins Home Group is one of Dale Sorensen Real Estate's premier real estate teams. Give them a call at 772-532-8148. Next up, Chalk Talk.
All right, everybody, this is Chalk Talk. It's our NFL segment. I love it. It is my favorite, like Mike said before. Baseball's my baby. It's my first love, but man, when it's NFL season, I love it, Mike. So
yeah, man.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the games last Thursday night. Big question: is Baker back? Baker Mayfield bringing the Rams back against the Raiders.
So that's kind of the Baker I thought we were going to get in Carolina, right? Because I was talking him up before the season started.
Well, here's the deal. I think that he is a product of the program, and I don't think Carolina's program's all that great.
Nope.
And yeah, and
the Rams,
I think the Rams program is for him. I think Baker might be back, Mike.
You call him back right now, or
I think Baker might be back. I think he's back, dude.
We're about to start week 15, and Curtis Carpenter is calling Baker Mayfield back, and that's going to pose a really good question for what they do next season. Although Baker signed a 1 year, right?
I don't know.
Actually, it was a trade.
The guy comes in on Tuesday and wins a game on Thursday. I mean that's crazy.
That might be just what he needs, though. Like, not have to worry about game plan much. Just go out there and do what you need to do, right?
Well, he's always
there's nothing to lose in that game.
Yeah, he's always been that backyard quarterback. I mean, he's always been the guy that's just going to make a play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was exciting, man. It was exciting to watch. And I like Baker. I hope he does well. Yeah. He kind of got screwed in Cleveland.
I'm a fan of Baker.
Yeah, he got screwed in Cleveland. They brought Deshaun Watson in. He said, fine, if you're going to bring this guy in, I want out. They trade him to a horrible team in Carolina where there's just 0% chance that he's going to succeed. Carolina cuts him. They're like, hey, you suck. You're out. And then the Rams, who just happenstance, their quarterback gets hurt the same week that Baker gets released. They're like, all right, fine, we'll take this guy. We won the Super Bowl last year, but we suck. Let's take him. And then, and listen, he didn't play well early in the game. But all of a sudden, boom, 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 he started making it happen, man. And I like Baker. I hope he's back.
I'm writing it down. Curtis Carpenter says Baker is back.
Baker's back. All right.
Or Baker is here. I don't know if he's ever was here,
was
but
he missing?
he's back.
Yeah,
or here. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Next one.
This we'll call it a trend up. This is a trend up for Baker.
All right. Big question for you. Are the Dolphins in trouble?
I don't think so. Tua's had really just 2 bad games. I don't know what the hell they were doing, their game plan against the Chargers. But Mike McDaniel's come out and taken the blame for that. Like, they were taking all downfield shots, and the middle was wide open, the middle short. I don't think they're in trouble. I do think this week will decide on whether they have a shot at the division or not. I know you're going to take the Bills in that game.
Every week.
So we'll see. I think they keep it close this week. I do not think that they'll drop out of the playoffs. I think that they'll win their next 3 after this game. But I'd like to see them keep it close. I mean, I don't like the way it's trending, but
so I have a prediction. First of all, my prediction is that all 4 teams in AFC East make the playoffs. But my prediction is after this week, the Dolphins will be technically, I guess, in last place in the AFC East. Because
at 8-6,
New England's going to beat the Raiders, and the Jets are going to beat the Lions, and the Dolphins are going to lose to the Bills, and those 3 teams will be 8-6. And that's my prediction.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. And if that's the case,
I think that's New England. Miami beat New England, right? So New England will be last. Jets will be second. Miami will be third. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be bundled up like that.
Again, I don't think the Chargers are going to make it. I think that they're going to be the last team out.
Yeah, they play Tennessee this week, so they could lose that.
Yeah, seeing what happens with the Jets. I mean, listen, we still have a few weeks to go, but I'm just thinking, like, man, the Dolphins have lost 2 in a row. They have looked horrible the last. I mean, they haven't looked bad. They've looked really bad the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And is this a sign of things to come?
I don't think so. I think Tua's had an uncharacteristically inaccurate 2 games, which is not normally his deal. We'll see a lot this week. Now we're going to see what they're made of.
Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah, we'll see. That was my question for you. And then the other question I had for you is, other than the Eagles, who I think are the only team that has clinched a playoff berth, other than the Eagles, is there a good team in the NFC?
Yeah, the Cowboys are good.
Okay.
You're a fan of them.
That's
again.
right. My
you
new
just
team.
Became a Cowboys fan last week.
That's right. Well, no, when Cooper Rush started, and then they benched him, and I didn't like him, and now I like him again. So I have this love-hate relationship with the Cowboys.
Dallas is good. San Francisco's defense is elite. I don't know what they can do with a 3rd-string quarterback. And I like Minnesota too. They had a clunker last week.
Boy, did they have a clunker! Holy cow!
But Detroit is better than 6 and 7.
So, well, I mean, their offense is good, but their defense is not. They give up a lot of points, Mike.
They do.
I mean, do they have the most points given up in the league? I think they have the most. No,
347.
Nope, the Cardinals have given up 3. All right. So for those of you curious, like I was, the worst scoring defense in the NFL, the team that gives up the most points in the entire NFL, is the Arizona Cardinals. They are horrible. They give up 300. They have given up 348 points this season. The second worst, the Detroit Lions, 347 points they've given up. Now, that being said, the Lions have scored 349. Which might be it's 3rd in the NFC, behind the Eagles and the Cowboys. So, yeah, man. I mean, their offense is good, but, boy, they cannot stop offenses.
Nope. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, so to answer your question, I think Philly, Dallas, and San Francisco are kind of in a different class. I mean, Philly might be in their own class. But, I think Minnesota's good. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to do much. Commanders and the Giants are kind of coming back to the pack where we thought they would be. Yeah, so no. I mean, I don't. Seattle's starting to fall back when they were a pretty good story the first half of the year. So it seems like Philly and maybe Dallas are kind of in their own little realm. If San Francisco can get solid quarterback play, they're good. But other than that, I think it's kind of stinky in the bottom.
All right. My next question, you alluded to this before. Are the 49ers okay with Brock Purdy at quarterback?
I'm going to need to see another game or two. When you kind of come out and nobody has any film on you, it's a little bit easier to be successful when you first start. I think, but man, their defense really puts them in good positions. On the flip side of what we were talking about, San Francisco's only given up 197 points.
Yeah.
So that's elite. I mean, that's almost 200 points less.
And they're dominant at home. Now, not so much on the road. They're only 3-3 on the road, but they're 6-1 at home.
Yeah.
They actually play tonight. They play Seattle on the road in Seattle. That's going to be a big game, Mike.
Yeah, that's a big game. I'm kind of eager to see who you pick in the pick'em.
Yeah. So if Seattle wins, they'll only be one game out of the lead there.
Yeah.
And again, Seattle's defense kind of sucks, but again, they can score points.
They can. I think they get Kenneth Walker back this week. So yeah, that's going to be a good game. I'll definitely be watching that one. Not that I don't watch every Thursday game. Amazon Prime, I don't know. That's weird. That seems like that really alienates some people from being able to watch it. But I'll be tuned in.
Good old Bezos. Got to collect that check.
Gonna make his money.
All right, my last question for you is: we have 3 games on Saturday. My team plays Saturday.
Yes.
Your team plays Saturday. Do you like Saturday football?
I do, especially now that college is pretty much gone. I love. I mean, to me, you can't. I would do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I could with NFL.
Here's my issue with Saturday football, Mike. I already booked the whole Sunday out. Like, I don't do anything Sunday. You know where to find me on Sunday afternoon. We cannot start doing Saturdays too. My wife will kill me. So, and especially when my team's playing, Mike. The Colts play at 1.
It's all day too.
Yeah,
1, 4, and 8.
Baltimore, Cleveland at 4:30, and then Dolphins, Bills at 8:15. Mike, it's a beautiful thing that's gonna give me problems.
Come on, your wife doesn't give you problems, bro.
She doesn't, but she will if I keep taking the entire weekend away from any responsibility.
Don't book anything for me Thursday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah, other than that, I'm good. Or the days that I work. So you pretty much.
So to answer that question, I love Saturday football. I don't know that that's good for a marriage, but I like it. So we'll see.
All right,
I like when Miami's playing because they're kind of standalone. So
yeah. Well, and the Colts are standalone Saturday, but
yep.
All right, I've got just some playoff scenarios I want to run by. There's some playoff berths, some clinching that could happen this week. So I'm just going to go over those, and then we can get into some pick'ems here. So the Bills,
let's do
it. The Bills can clinch a playoff berth with a win. All right, so all they have to do is beat Miami. Or if they, I love these, if they tie and the Chargers lose, okay. Or if Buffalo ties and the Jets and the Patriots lose, okay. And then if Buffalo ties, the Jets lose, New England ties, and the Chargers tie. If any of that happens, Buffalo's in the playoffs. All right. So there's Buffalo. It might just be easier to win. Here we go. Here's another playoff scenario for you. Kansas City Chiefs. They play Houston this week, so they will win by 1 trillion. But
goodness.
If they win, they're in. If they win, they win the division. Okay. If the Chargers lose, Kansas City wins the division. I
think that happens this week. Calling it.
Yeah. If Kansas City and the Chargers both tie, Chiefs win a division. Now, the Chiefs can clinch a playoff berth without winning the division. If they tie, the Jets lose, and New England loses. Or if Kansas City ties, Miami loses, New England loses, and the Jets tie. Or if the Chargers tie, Miami loses, the Jets lose, and New England ties. Who comes up with these, Mike? Who figures all this out?
I have no idea. I'd say just win, baby. That needs to be the mantra. Just win.
So here are the Cowboys' possibilities of clinching a playoff berth. They can win, and they're in. Or they can tie with the Giants and Commanders not ending in a tie. Or Dallas ties and Seattle loses or ties. Or Seattle loses and Detroit loses or ties, or Seattle loses and Washington loses. Then Dallas is in. And then the last one, I just love these. These are like my favorite. The Vikings, they clinch if they win or tie, or Detroit loses or ties. And then my favorite one out of all of these, there's only one scenario here. The 49ers clinch the West if they win. That's the only scenario in which they clinch the division.
That's what it should be.
That's it. Yeah. So anyway,
I already lost 90% of those scenarios in my head. I'm like,
so those are
gone.
Those are your playoff scenarios this week. Do you want to do a pick 'em this week? We didn't do it last week.
We didn't do it. Yeah, I mean, that's up to you. I like doing them. I mean, I do one anyway for.
Yeah, we can do a shotgun style. Let's see. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I like doing them. It's kind of my favorite thing. Sometimes we follow it, sometimes we don't. But, yeah. All right, we're going to do this real quick. 49ers Seahawks tonight. It's in Seattle. 49ers 9-4, Seattle 7-6. 49ers 3-point favorites. Who you got?
49ers.
I'm taking the 49ers as well. They don't play as well on the road, but they're going to win this game. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Colts 4-8-1 in Minnesota, playing the Vikings at 10-3. Minnesota's a 4-point favorite. What do you got?
Minnesota.
That should be 40-point favorite. Minnesota's going to win. Baltimore 9-4 in Cleveland, playing the Browns, who are 5-8. Cleveland is a 3-point favorite. What you got?
I got Cleveland.
I'm going to take Baltimore. So we got one different there. I think the Ravens are going to win.
Yeah, I can see that going either way.
All right. Saturday night, 8:15, NFL Network. Miami Dolphins 8-5 against the Buffalo Bills at 10-3. Buffalo 7-point favorite.
I got Buffalo, but closer than 7.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they cover, but Buffalo's going to win. All right. 6 1 o'clock games Sunday afternoon. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at 12-1 playing the Chicago Bears at 3-10. Philly a 9-point favorite. What do you got?
Eagles by 2 touchdowns.
Easy. Next one, Atlanta Falcons 5-8 against the New Orleans Saints 4-9. Horrible game. Saints are 4-point favorites. What do you got?
I'm going to go Saints. Falcons are starting a brand new quarterback, so give me the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go Falcons. We'll switch that up. The third 1 o'clock game, Detroit Lions 6-7 against the New York Jets 7-6. It's a pick 'em.
I'm going Lions to keep it rolling.
I'll go Jets. All right, man, we got a lot different this week. Another horrible game. Steelers 5-8 in Carolina playing the Panthers 5-8. Panthers 3-point favorite. What do you got?
Kenny Pickett's out, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to go Steelers.
Yeah, me too. I'm going Steelers. All right.
Panthers stink.
Dallas Cowboys 10-3 against the all of a sudden they're pretty good Jacksonville Jaguars at 5-8. Dallas 4-point favorite.
I'm going to go Cowboys. My head keeps telling me to go Jags, but I think I'm going to go Cowboys.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Like, Cowboys are the obvious pick, but damn, man, Jacksonville's looked good lately.
You're a Cowboys fan now, so I'm going to go
Now that I'm a Cowboys fan, I got to take them. I'm going Cowboys. All right, the last 1 o'clock game. The Kansas City Chiefs are 10-3. They're playing the worst team in existence, the Houston Texans. They're 1-11-1. Kansas City is a 14-point favorite. What you got?
I got Chiefs by 10.
I've Chiefs by more than 14. Chiefs are going to dominate that game. Houston, I think they tried what they could last week against Dallas. Almost pulled it out, but couldn't do it. All right, 4 o'clock games. Arizona Cardinals 4-9 against the Denver Broncos 3-10. I probably will not be watching this. That is horrible. Denver's a 3-point favorite.
Which bad team is worse?
Yeah, they're both bad.
I think I'll go Broncos. They have a better defense. Backup quarterback for the Cards. Yeah, Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos too. They're actually going to score some points this week. Arizona's defense sucks. New England Patriots 7-6 going to Vegas playing the Raiders 5-8. It's a pick 'em.
I'm going Raiders.
I'm going Patriots.
I don't want to see Derek Carr cry on the TV anymore.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots. So we got another one different. All right, Titans.
I'm going against Patriots and Jets because I need them to lose.
Oh, that makes sense. I get that.
That's just where we're at on that.
I get that. Possibly the game of the week here. This might be the game of the week. Tennessee Titans at 7-6 against the LA Chargers 7-6. A lot of playoff implications here. Chargers a 3-point favorite.
I'm going Titans. I'm going to go Tannehill's going to have a good game.
I'm going Chargers. Let's go Herbert, Sherbert, whatever his name is.
Hey Bear.
All right. The last 4 o'clock game is the Cincinnati Bengals at 9-4 against the Tampa Bay Bucks at 6-7. Cincinnati 3.5-point favorite. Let's see.
I'm going Cincy. big.
Yeah, me too.
I
Cincinnati,
think.
Tampa's lost. They are wandering. Their ship is wandering in the water. They're lost. The Bengals are gonna beat them. Then Sunday night we've got the Giants against the Washington R-Words. They're both 7-5-1. I think they must have tied before. That was when they played each other earlier. They must have tied. Washington is a 4.5-point favorite.
I'm going Giants. Saquon Barkley's going to have a big game, I think, and I think Danny Jones is going to have a good game. This is a must-win for one of these teams, right?
Yep.
To stay in the playoff picture. So I'm going to go Giants. I'm going to try to keep a happy marriage going.
Sorry, Vicky. Commanders all the way. We are commanding Sunday night.
This is perfect because every time you do the sorry Vicky thing, the Giants win.
I know. She's going to love me for this.
So sorry, Vicky, but not really because we know what's going to happen now.
And then Monday night, a game that should have got flexed. I guess you can't flex Monday night games, but they should. The Rams at 4-9. My boy Baker is facing off against the Packers at 5-8. The Packers are 7-point favorites.
I'm going Packers. I think this may be the last game we see Aaron Rodgers this year. I think that once they're officially eliminated from playoff contention, they're going to have Jordan Love start some games. But I'm taking the Packers just because they're at home.
I'm going Rams, baby. Baker's back.
I like it.
I'm calling him Backer. I'm calling him Backer Mayfield.
Backer Mayfield.
He's back.
I want him to be good, man. I've been on him all season, and so hopefully you're right.
I accidentally hung up on Mike. Oh, no.
I don't know what happened there, buddy.
I don't want to hear you anymore. I hung up on you on accident. So that's it. That's it from the because I was trying to pull up pictures for the Double Drivel. So
hey, I'm like, oh crap! Did my AirPods just die? So
nope,
right,
that was me.
You. Good.
All right, so that is it for our Chalk Talk. And next up, we're going to talk a little NBA. You ready?
Let's go. Yep.
All right, here we go. Double Drivel. All right, this is Double Drivel. This is where we talk a little NBA. This is more of Mike's thing, not mine. I still watch it. More of a playoff guy. But one thing that I have seen, and you couldn't get away from it in the news this week, Zion Williamson. Not only is Zion back, okay? Like there was some question and some controversy about his Zion. You know, is he the man? He's the man. And talk to me about this 360 dunk he did at the end of the game, Mike, where everybody was up in arms and people.
Well, there was literally like 2 seconds left, and he did this like 360 windmill dunk. I mean, I guess I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you're there, you're trying, you have a product that's on the court. You're trying to entertain the fans. Why not? I mean, it's a 360 dunk. If I could do it, I would do it every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't like it, then play defense. I don't know what to say. Like. I didn't have a problem with it, but
it's like when you pimp a home run.
Home run celebrations. So
yeah, it's like when you spike the ball and you celebrate in the end zone, or you pimp a home run, or you do any of that. I mean, listen, you don't like it, don't let the other guy do it. Like like you said, play some defense. So I
mean, there's certain things where it's where it's pretty where it shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be like an alley-oop on that play out off the backboard where 3 guys are involved. But if it's one guy doing a 360 dunk, I didn't see the problem with it, but I'm a Zion fan, so I'm probably a little biased.
My take is if it's within the rules and you want to do it, do it. And if the other team doesn't want you to do it, they should stop you from doing it. So
that's it.
I'm pretty player friendly on that as far as the
I'm
offender friendly.
What would stop that? A nice hard foul.
Yeah, right. Right, go tackle the guy. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up again. That was kind of big news this week. And then also Golden State, man. They win the championship last year, right? They're the best team in the whole league. And they're not so hot this year. I mean, they're kind of like following the Rams. They are 2-13 on the road. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure they're 2-13. I don't have that. Yeah, they are 2-13 on the road. They lost to the Pacers last night in Indiana. They cannot win a game on the road.
Not good, man. And Steph Curry got hurt last night. Ever since Draymond Green slapped Jordan Poole like he was a chick, this has not been good. This has not been good. That was right before the season started, and it got a lot of attention, man. And it seems like it's just spiraled. I am super interested in to see what Steph Curry's shoulder injury is, because without him, they've got no shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to give you a couple of stats. Golden State's allowing the second most three-pointers per game on the road among all teams, and it's 8th at home. So it's like, all right, so you're 28th on the road, or 29th, I guess, on the road, and then 8th at home. What's up with that? And then only the Spurs have a worse net rating in road games, 120.8, than the Warriors. They're allowing 119.1 points per 100 possessions away from home.
That is hard to believe.
Golden State was 4th last year, and they're 29th this year. It's a problem, Mike. It's a problem, and if Steph's out, your best player's out, and you're not playing well on the road, I don't know, man. Like, is it time to worry? You're 14. I don't know. You're 30 games in, almost halfway in,
and they play 80. So I'm not panicking yet, but it's getting to be about that time. I mean, they would be right now that kind of last playoff spot, that last play-in game, if you call. I mean, every team but 5 teams make the playoffs.
Right. That's the big thing.
In each division.
Like, it's like, damn, man, everybody makes it. Who cares? Like, just get through the regular season healthy and then show out in the playoffs.
There's 15 teams and 10 of them make the playoffs in each division. So,
right.
20 playoff teams. So and I guess that's kind of like why you don't have to panic yet, right? So if the top 6 teams make the playoffs, now you're maybe panicking a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But they got time. They're the same exact team as last year. They're a little bit of an older team, I think, with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Draymond Green. So they may need a little bit of time to get ready to go. I do have, just kind of shifting same division. Do the Lakers need to worry because they're not in the current playoff format? So
yeah, and I know some guys have been chattering on the Lakers team saying this should be a championship team. We should not be worried about a play-in game.
Yeah, I mean they're 3 games from the play-in game.
Yeah.
So they're in trouble. The Miami Heat are starting to play a little bit better. They're over 500 in their last 10. They won last night. They play, I think, Houston today, so they have a chance to make a little bit of noise. They're starting to play good. They're going to need somebody when it comes to the trade deadline. I don't know what, but somebody that's going to be an impact.
Yeah. Speaking of the trade deadline, I was reading something before where it was saying that, and again, I don't really follow this as much as I probably should, but today is some sort of a trade deadline. Today's a signing restriction date, or players that are eligible to be traded. December 15th, I guess what it is there are players that sign a contract in the offseason, and December 15th is the first day that they can get traded without them vetoing it. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know much about that. They have a funky trade deadline, man. It's a little bit weird, but that sounds right. Like, if the player was just signed, yeah, I'll have to look into that more. I don't know much about that, but that sounds right.
But there are some, like, I don't know. I mean, there are some guys, Aaron Holiday, Patty Mills. I mean, there are guys on here that, like, Andre Drummond. Like, there are guys on here, Ricky Rubio. I mean, there are guys on here that, like, don't suck.
Rubes.
PJ Tucker, like a Bol from the Magic. Anyway.
Yeah, PJ Tucker's a good one. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, Miami's going to need to make a move. Boston is still they lost 2 games last week actually, but still by far the best team. Their last 10, they're 7-3. So they're still pretty head and shoulders above everybody other than Milwaukee.
Yeah, it seems like those are the 2 teams that are just going to run away with it. The West is jumbled though.
Yeah, the West is a little more jumbled. It's just in the East. One last thing. Brooklyn's starting to play good. They're 8-2 in their last 10. So keep an eye on them. But yeah, it's Pelicans, Grizzlies, Denver, Portland. They're all within a couple games of each other. Phoenix, Clippers. I mean, even through the 6th spot, they have teams with 17 wins. So I mean, it's jumbled there. The Pelicans and the Grizzlies are 8-2 in their last 10. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are the most fun team to watch with Ja Morant. I can't stop singing his praises. That dude makes it fun, really fun to watch basketball.
Yeah. Well, and next Tuesday, Grizzlies and the Nuggets play. It's at 10 o'clock. But, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a heck of a game if you can stay up or tape it or figure out a way to watch it.
Yeah, that's fun, man. Memphis plays actually – what's today?
Today is Thursday
Memphis,
the 15th. Yeah, they play Milwaukee today, the Bucks.
Milwaukee at Memphis. That's going to be fun, man. That's going to be a good game. I'll be watching NFL, but I will be keeping track of that.
Yeah, I'll have them both on.
Miami and Houston play today, so Miami's got one. I did want to say I saw yesterday, and I like to point this stuff out when I see it. Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
For the Denver Nuggets scored 43 yesterday, so that's kind of a big deal. He was the only player to score in the 40 points yesterday, so that's kind of cool. Anything good Friday? That's when Golden State plays again, so they play Philadelphia, so we're going to see where they're at.
On the road.
Yep, on the road. That's big for them. I was watching a little bit of the Knicks Bulls game last night, and the Knicks hit a 3 at the buzzer to win the game in overtime. It was pretty cool. So yeah, some good basketball coming up. Denver and the Lakers play tomorrow night.
Yep.
You know, I like LeBron. I'm not his biggest fan, but I love watching him. You know, the greatness is undeniable. So when he's on, I normally stop and watch it. 10 o'clock, you'll be in bed.
Oh, for sure. That's my bedtime.
I don't know how you're a Dodger fan, but that's a story for another day. Yeah, definitely some good matchups coming up, man. I can't wait.
Saturday
can't wait to see what it brings.
Pelicans and Suns. That'll be a good one.
Yep.
On Saturday. So yeah, a bunch of games. We talked about Tuesday's
Utah,
matchup.
Yep, Utah Milwaukee. That's
that's on Saturday too. Yep.
Saturday. And then New Orleans at Phoenix. That'll be a good game too.
Yep.
So this weekend. So yeah, good week of basketball coming up. Looking forward to it, man. I love it. I love the basketball All-Star break. That might be my favorite All-Star break.
Yeah, they have a lot of events and stuff going on. It's awesome.
Slam dunk competition. They do it right, man. And they don't play defense. It's all offense, so that's kind of fun. So we'll have that before long. But yeah, good basketball coming up. Can't wait to see some of these moves as we get closer to the trade deadline. We'll see who's in and out real quick.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited about basketball kind of, getting into the mix. Like you said, the All-Star break coming, and then the last half of that season where you're really starting to see these teams move up and down into the playoff picture. And then where they're getting seeded is really important. So
yeah,
we'll make sure
I love NBA, I get real serious into it once NFL's over, especially regular season when there's not so much going on in the NFL. So maybe next week too, I want to talk a little college basketball too.
Yeah. Well, you get into conference play. Yeah. That'll be a lot of fun. So maybe we will incorporate that into Double Drivel.
Yes, I like it.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it from the NBA. Next up, we're going to talk about Mike's favorite thing in the whole world, the NHL. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Power play. All right, this is usually our shortest segment, the NHL. We call it Power Play. There's one big thing we want to talk about in the NHL this week, and what is it, Mike?
Yeah, man. So it's the one thing I really, really noticed from the last couple of days. And, I asked you this before the show started because I wanted to give you a little bit of time to think about it. But Alexander Ovechkin scored his 800th goal. And my question to you was, what is that? And because it's obviously a huge deal, right? It's been all over SportsCenter. It's all over ESPN. So that's obviously a huge deal. So for me, for the guy that doesn't know NHL much, compare that to an MLB record. Like, what would that be? That sort of compared to.
You just saw it. You just saw it a couple months ago. Alex Ovechkin scoring 800 goals is almost an exact equivalent of Albert Pujols hitting 700 home runs.
Awesome.
So the leading goal scorer, the all-time leading goal scorer is Wayne Gretzky. He's got, 849 or something like that. I don't know the number. He's got a lot. Then I think number 2 is Gordie Howe, and I think he's got like 801 or something like that. So, and again, forgive me for not knowing the exact numbers. Hockey's not a sport like baseball where, for whatever reason, you know these numbers by heart. But, Ovechkin's third, and he's got 800, and that's a massive milestone. So that's why you're seeing it everywhere. I mean, again, if you're a hockey fan, you're following it close.
So let me ask you this. Ovechkin's 37. Do you see a scenario where he could break Wayne Gretzky's?
I don't think so. He's been on a downward decline for the last few. Although he did get the hat trick, he scored 3 goals to get to 800. So, I guess I have to look up and see exactly how many goals Wayne Gretzky has before I could tell you for sure. I think it's in the 840s or something like that. But yeah, it's 894. So yeah, no way. No way is Alex Ovechkin scoring 95 more goals in his career.
Okay. Yeah, so that's different than 840, whatever.
Yeah. I must have had 894 and 849 mixed. But yeah, it's just that's just a crazy number.
So what's an elite year as far as goals scored? Like what is 50 kind of the number? 70, something like that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Listen, I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best.
I
to
hear
learn.
you. That's a good question. I don't really know. Here, what I can tell you is, let's see. That's giving me soccer, but because I'm like, yeah, well, that well, yeah. I mean, so I would say 60s. If you get 60, you're having a really good year. 50's
the leader
okay.
in goals right now has 26. So.
Right, and they're about almost halfway through the season. So
okay,
yeah.
So 50, 60, something like that.
Yeah, you want to hear something wild though. Wayne Gretzky, of course, holds the record for goals scored in a year. He had 92 in the 81-82 season.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, Steve Yzerman's 50th on the list. He scored 58. So yeah, 50's a really good year.
Good. Okay.
But you know what? So Wayne Gretzky is first and second. So in 81-82 he scored 92, and then in 83-84 he scored 87.
Well, he's the great one, or whatever he's called. Is it the great one?
Yep, the great one.
Yeah.
And then 84-85 he scored 73, which is 8th on the list. So he's got 3 of the top 10 goal scoring seasons.
Not bad.
In NHL history. Yeah, kind of wild. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 9 of the top 10 and the top 8 in assists per season. So, yeah, there's a reason why they call him the great one, for sure. But
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, congrats to old Ovi. He's got 800. Like I said, it's a great accomplishment. He's never gonna get 894, but Poles is never gonna get 762 or 755 or whatever you see as the home run record. So
he's not gonna get first, but he is. There's a good chance he gets second.
Yeah, I forget Gordie Howe's number. I'm pretty sure he's second. Gordie Howe career goals. Let's see. I think he's at like 801 or 802. 801. So Gordie Howe is 801. So yeah, Ovechkin's going to beat that. So he'll be the second all-time greatest goal scorer in NHL history.
Nice.
So yeah.
Love it.
That's really it. No other real, moving and shaking in the NHL.
Boston's still running the league.
Still running the league, man. They're still number one. They have 47 points. Yep. And
New Jersey 44, Toronto 44. Other than that, there's nobody. Oh, Golden Knights, your squad.
Yep. Yeah, they got 43. Yeah, but you know what's interesting? It's funny. So Vegas is a relatively new team. They've only been around like 3 years. And the Seattle Kraken, who are second in the Western Conference in the Pacific Division, they've only been around 2 years or 3 years. So
yeah, that's
the
cool.
two newest teams are doing really, really well in the West.
I love the Kraken's jersey, like their uniform combinations and stuff, man. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, if you've never seen their logo, it looks a lot like the Seagram's logo, like the Seagram's like the ginger ale, but it's like an aqua teal blue kind of color. So, I like their logo. I like Vegas's logo too. But yeah, it's just interesting that usually when you have an expansion team,
right,
it's not so hot. It takes a little while to get up there, but yeah, they're doing pretty well. So
teams can be. There is like, I've just noticed. So Boston has 47 points, and the worst team in the NHL has 17. That is bad.
Yeah, that's probably the
Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, they're really, really bad. So I'm looking it up right now. They're 7-20-3. So they've lost 20 games in regulation. So
unbelievable.
That's like, all right, it's the end of the game, and we lost 3-1. Like, you didn't even get into overtime. You didn't even have a chance. Like, yeah, it's not. They're not good. The Mighty Ducks are not so mighty. They're fighting for the
number one pick.
Yep.
Fighting for the number one pick with the Blackhawks.
Yeah, Chicago's not good either.
That's a historically good franchise, though, right?
The original 6. Yep. So yeah.
All right.
But somebody's got to be bad. So
Original 6. I'm learning something.
Yeah, original 6. So there's the 6 original teams. I
So
forget
tell
them
me.
all.
Okay, can I guess? Let me guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these are just teams I've learned. So would be. So I'm just going to guess 6, and you let me know if I get any of them. Don't say anything till I do the 6.
All right.
So
for it.
I'm going to do Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, we know that one. And let's do Montreal Canadiens. Let's do Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay.
Let's do New York Rangers.
Okay.
Let's do St. Louis Blues.
Okay.
And Calgary Flames.
All right. You got 3.
Ooh.
All right. So Calgary is not. St. Louis is not. And then who else did you say?
Shoot.
Yeah. All right. So here are the original 6. All right. And the original is the Montreal Canadiens. All right. They are like the New York Yankees of hockey. All right. They're like the first, and they're the most liked.
Right.
They're the dudes. Okay.
They have 7,000 pennants because they were like
because they were the only team. Right. Yeah. And then after that you've got Toronto. Okay. And then we find so you have the Canadiens and the Maple Leafs. Then you get into the United States. All right. So the Bruins are the 3rd team, and then the Blackhawks, the Red Wings, and the Rangers. So those are your original 6. So Montreal and Toronto, Canada, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, New York. And just think about geographically, they all kind of fit in together pretty close.
Right.
So yeah, that's it. St. Louis isn't in it, and Calgary and whoever else you said. But
the more you know.
The more you know. There's your original 6. So we're gonna wrap up Power Play with teaching you a little NHL history there, and we're gonna get into Fact or Cap. You ready, Mike?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Fact or Cap. All right, this is Fact or Cap. It is the end of our podcast. It's how we end all of our. It's the segment that we use to end all of our podcasts. Mike, you got 2 questions for me. I got 2 questions for you. Go ahead and shoot. What you got?
I do. I'm going to go with your first one here. So we know that FSU is playing Oklahoma in their bowl game, right?
Yep.
And you're an FSU fan, and Micah is Oklahoma?
That's right. My youngest son is an Oklahoma fan.
So this is for bragging rights. If Oklahoma wins, do you let him brag a little?
No, shut it down.
Or do you pay the mortgage, so it's
Dog, you better shut up in my house. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so my Fact or Cap question is, I think I know the answer to this because I think you said they're going to win by 1 million. Does FSU cover the 7.5 point spread?
Yes. What I want to know is I don't even know. What's the over-under in that game? Because it's got to be really high.
I had it up. Let me pull it up real quick. So you're saying fact on that. They will cover.
Yeah, they cover.
7.5 points. Let me see what. I'm pulling it up. So give me 30 seconds. Because I knew you'd ask me that question. I should have had it up on the. That's all about a Curtis question.
Yeah. What's the over?
Okay, I got it. Let's see. Spread 7.5, 65.5.
Ooh, I don't know if we'll get over that. That's maybe.
That's
yeah,
a lot.
But that ought to tell you what type of game we're dealing with here. This is going to be high scoring, air it out, shoot it out. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Okay, so you're facting on 7.5. Okay,
Florida State's going to cover, and
yes.
I'll even play the over in that probably. So yeah,
there you go. I need to see a betting slip on this.
Yeah, all right, I'll make it. All right, my Fact or Cap for you: Noah Syndergaard gets 25 starts next year for the Dodgers.
That's funny because my next one is Noah Syndergaard related.
Oh, okay.
I
Thor
say
all of a sudden.
He played good and played pretty healthy last season, right? What was it? Fact or Cap that he gets over 25 or over?
Yeah, 25 starts or more.
I'll say fact.
Okay. All right.
He signed a 1-year deal, so he's really going to want to prove something this year.
No, I agree with that. And I think that does have something to do with it.
Out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say fact. So my second one to you is Thor related as well. Does Noah Syndergaard have 12 or more wins for the Dodgers?
Ooh. If he gets 25 starts, he's going to get a decision in 15 or 16. That would mean he's going to be 12-3 or 12. No, I don't think so. 10 wins.
Capping.
I'm saying 10 wins. If he gets to 25 starts, I mean, he may not even get 25 starts. Yeah. So I'm kind of hedging that a little bit.
Got it.
Yeah. All right.
Cap.
All right, Cap. Yep. And the last one for you is Jim. We brought this up before. Jimbo Fisher is fired by the national championship game.
Cap.
Cap. They're going to keep him.
Cap. I think there's too much buyout right now. I think he's going to have to start off slow next year. Although, man, the way the players are transferring out of there, it's truly historical. He's lost like a third, probably like half of that recruiting class that he had last year.
They won 5 games, and they may not win that next year.
Nope. And what is he in his 5th year, 6th year, something like that? He's pretty deep in that contract, right? That contract, but deep in his tenure there. It's a pretty new contract.
He's been there a while.
So I say Cap, not before the national championship game, but soon.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it from us at 772 Sports. Again, we are on Twitter at 772 Sports. You can find us at 772sports.com. Again, you can just look us up on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, listen, you can get a hold of us if you want to join our the college football pick'em pool. Like I said, we'll buy you lunch if you beat us.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. That's it. You got anything else to add, Mike?
My challenge to you guys is that you're not going to beat us in the college football pick'em, so you might as well get on and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not going to beat Curtis. If there's one thing he knows, it's how to pick a game.
I may not know the sport, but I know how to pick a game.
He could not watch a lick of the sport all year, and he'll do 75% on the pick'ems.
Vegas teaches you a lot about how to pick games.
All right, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Great. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.